Moss. You wild thing. You make my heart sing.
I am wilding out.
But I love that you brought the hairbrush to the set with you. That's hilarious. Hello, everybody. First of all, happy Halloween. We're counting the days till we get there. And welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. I am Wendy Stuart.
And I am Tym Moss, pulling my hair back right now.
Okay, you're doing your due right
there. We go.
Oh my God. So how fun are these countdown days to Halloween? They're the best.
I went to get my... Yes, I agree.
You good? You got everything that you need?
Yeah, I was looking for my phone because once again I can't remember everything I did this last week. So
okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. I like when I talk to him, I just write down what he's doing. He'll come on camera and not remember a thing. Well, why don't we talk about the doggy fashion show? Because I got to tell you, that was amazing.
The doggy fashion show. Yes, that's one thing I did this week. I hosted a doggy costume contest up in the Bronx. It was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
The dogs were absolutely adorable. Big dogs, little dogs. There was a Rottweiler that they had this huge mane around his head, and he was Scar from The Lion King. And it was great.
And the people that brought the dogs, Tim, your pictures were fabulous. I was so impressed that people will take the time to coordinate a costume.
Right. There was a couple of them. One was the one that won was Catwoman, and her Pomeranian was the penguin. Danny DeVito, that
the penguins.
And she had a little parasol that spinned above him. And he had like this long nose with the monocle, with the eyepiece. It was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical.
But
and another one that impressed me was the Phantom of the Opera. The guy was dressed as Phantom of the Opera, and he pulled his little dog in on a wagon that looked like the boat with the little lantern hanging on. And she was the bride. She was Christine the bride. Hysterical. But I think one of my favorites also, there was a husband and wife and their dog, and she had a sign that she was graham crackers. He had a shirt on that said Hershey's chocolate, and the dog was in a white puffy thing, and that was the marshmallow. So they went as
I remember the three of them in that picture.
They came as a s'more. So it was very creative, very fun, a very fun day. Very
cool. You know what? Shows some really goodwill around Halloween. This is what we always talk about with everything going on in the world, people taking time out. We're aware of what's going on. We have to take time out to make things good as well. And I love that you did that. Was that for a charity that you did it for, Tim?
It was for Ruben's Pet World.
Ruben's Pet World. Yeah, I know his page on Facebook, and a shout out to Ruben for getting out there and doing that.
And he was dressed as the Joker. Yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
he did a good job.
No, another thing that I did is I went to the cabaret convention, which was off the charts. It was amazing. Marilyn May, who's like the queen of cabaret, she's 95 yeyears old, came out and taught everybody how to do cabaret, even with a kick. At 95 years old, she still kicked her leg up. Just remarkable. And there was another couple that I really was impressed with. These two young men who really have the flavor and the soul of cabaret, like old style cabaret.
Do you remember what their names are?
No, absolutely. Nicholas King and Seth Sykes.
And you love them.
I would love to have them on the show sometime.
Yeah, I was going to say that's great. Let's reach out. Let's get them on the show.
Absolutely.
Well, I love coming here.
But they were also playing. Monday night. I went to see Jamie DeRoy. Jamie DeRoy and friends, and they were one of her guest performers. Daisy, I can't think of her last name, was this amazing violinist. It was a wonderful variety show.
Hold on, Daisy Joplin.
JC Joplin, yes, JC Joplin.
She's one of Eileen and Jimmy's clients.
Oh, so she's
shout out to World Star Media and Tim.
We've
had Jimmy on the show.
Okay, well, she is a remarkable. Jamie wants to come on the show as well. But Daisy is just a remarkable talent. And then the highlight of the evening was Tony Danza from Who's the Boss and Taxi.
Yeah, everybody knows.
And he's got a beautiful voice, a really nice, smooth.
Yeah, it's great that he did that, because some people just know him from Who's the Boss, but it shows the range that he has as a performer. Well, I loved coming here to Pangea to see everyone, you and Aris and Tanya.
I forgot about that show.
I was having a great time till I volunteered to do an improv with you, and you made me into a tampon. As I said, that was a stretch.
It was an improv, and we asked the audience to give us an object, and somebody said tampon. And
I didn't know who yelled at tampon.
Yeah. I think it was Rose.
Hard. It was hard to get into it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just joking. We all had a really, really good time.
Oh, it was fun. Very fun. Yeah. So that was my week. Yeah. So how was your week?
Gorgeous. And this Thursday night, we will be at Stonewall with the Imperial Court of New York for All Hallows 7. And I am performing, and Tym Moss is doing a little bit with me.
Well, and I'm not singing. I'm just helping you out on your number.
Yeah, he's helping me out. He's doing a little support work after I was a tampon in his show. That is the least he can do for me. So please come. The show starts at 6. We have a lot of wonderful performers. We have people outside the court that are performing with us this year, like Andy Troy, the comedian. A lot of you know Andy.
Yep. I love Andy.
I'm sorry, I have an itchy nose because I'm wearing feathers. I'm wearing feathers in my Halloween spirit. So and our show for the Imperial Court is to benefit Trinity House. So please come by. It's a suggested donation, whatever you want to give. And we'll have also great prizes as part of what the Imperial Court does. We try and make a difference in the world. And here, oh my God, Friday night night here at Pangea, 9:30, Don Arrington, Enough of the Blues. And you love the show.
I saw his show a couple weeks ago. Incredible. Wonderful show.
Incredible. Yeah. So we've had Don on the show since. Excited to be here at Pangea to see him. And before I come to Pangea, I will be at
the Triad.
Thank you, honey. The Triad for Dorothy Bishop's A Dozen Divas. And she is just phenomenal, the way she channels these divas. That will be at 7:00. I think there may be tickets available for that. You can see her at the Triad. And of course,
the reason it's called Dozen Divas is she changes on stage into at least 12 different divas throughout the show. She channels
them all amazingly. If you follow Dorothy on TikTok, she's just phenomenal. Of course, Luther, her sidekick, her chihuahua, will be there. Luther comes to every performance. I love Luther. He doesn't like me so much, but I love Luther.
Everybody loves Luther.
Everybody loves Luther. So I hope you're all ready for our amazing guests today.
Yes.
We had been on the show a couple of years ago, actually kind of like when we first started and he streamed or whatever, but we went to a live event together during the pandemic that Soho Johnny gave, and it was a fundraiser. They were actually raising some money for the people that train the dogs that help the veterans. Wonderful cause. And we heard this person, the drummer, freaking phenomenal that night. I never saw anyone's hands move that quick. And I never danced so hard and so fast in my entire life. Our guest today is a nonstop drummer and DJ and an electronic music performer, considered the best drummer of all time on the list. And All Music said, this person must be heard to be believed. Well, we've heard him play, and it's all true. Put your hands together for DRMAGDN.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I dressed just for you.
With a drum pad or
I
something.
know. Right,
That's very, very hokey.
Yeah. I dressed just for you today.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Rocking out.
Tim is rocking out on your behalf. First of all, thank you for being here. And you know what? It's a real treat to have you here in person.
Absolutely.
Wherever we can. I think, were you in LA the last time? We had a
yeah. I was on tour, did 10 countries, but I'm back now. So yeah,
it's amazing, and we're so happy to have you. But getting you live is like everything as opposed to dead, even though it's Halloween. Oh, I didn't really say that. So DRMAGDN, what have you been up to?
Yeah, well, just got off that 10-country tour. I did South America. I did a couple places in the States. But then the big gig that I did on that tour was I actually played the King's Coronation weekend sold-out show, Royal Albert Hall.
I saw that you played Royal Albert.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God.
So you have to tell Tim and I, was there like all this pomp and circumstance?
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was really, basically for those who don't know, Royal Albert Hall is, their Carnegie Hall, right? Yeah, so London's Carnegie Hall. It came out around the same time. They built it the same time.
It's bigger though, right?
It's a little bigger. Yeah, okay. It's a little bigger. But yeah, so I got the call and I basically, did my DRMAGDN thing. And I also played with an entire 30-piece Hungarian orchestra.
Wow.
And a famous Hungarian virtuoso piano player. And it was totally massive and amazing. It sold out, and it's one of those surreal moments. But the funny thing was, in the in-ears, as I'm playing, I'm rocking and doing the whole thing, they speak only Hungarian into the in-ears to tell people what to do. Okay, now you bow, whatever. And they would wait until the very end, and they say, okay, drum again. You got to bow now. And I was like,
you didn't know what's bow now. So
bow, because of that, running to the front of the stage. Okay, come back. Okay, we're done now.
Wait, did anyone translate it for you?
Yeah, that's what happened.
But so it was delayed.
Hungarian, and then they would do the English.
Right. It was delayed. So basically, the audience was probably like, gee, he can drum really fast, but what the heck is the matter with his motor skills? He's not there for the bow. That is extremely
funny. So tell me about that experience. Like, what kind of music did they do, and was it a mixture of like rock and classical
or electronic?
It was like classical, electronic. Wow. It was basically EDM fused with a symphony, fused with like new age, fused with some rock and everything. So
my God.
I'll be able to send you guys the link.
Can you send my God, Tim.
I would love to see that. That's amazing. What an experience. Wow.
Was this the first time in your life that you did a tour this big?
I've toured, I'm up to 32 countries now. I'm up to 43 US states and about 250 plus records. So I've done a lot of touring over the many years.
Over the many years.
But, for the DRMAGDN situation, since I blew up during the shutdown, now it's starting to really get crazy because in a couple of weeks, I'm in Romania. I have a big call in Finland coming up. I have a residency in New York that I'm back in and able to do now.
Where is your residency in New York going to be?
It's actually Red Lion, West Village, West Village, right on Bleecker Street. And it's usually 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. on Saturday. Cool. So it's the headlining slot, the very last one.
1 to 4. Really just
well, I just want to tell everybody here, I've got your tour dates for 2023 in London, Montreal and Toronto in Canada, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Chile, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, here in New York, Mexico, Philadelphia, Tennessee, Ohio, New York City again, Rochester, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, and Zurich.
Yes.
My God, that's an incredible.
You want to gift me with your frequent flyer miles? That would be so nice, Tim and I, because we had you on the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Question: did you do like the same show at all of those? Like you had one show?
Always a different show. Basically what I'll do is I'll always read the crowd. I have thousands of songs, loaded into the pads. I have my own.
Those are DJ,
right?
Originals and remixes and mashups, and I'll play some of the original tunes from certain artists. Like everyone loves "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi, right?
Right,
so
they love right. And then you're drumming. Now, who were you in the shows with?
For which ones?
For any on the touring, were you part of?
It was me. No, it was me.
Solo. Wow. Okay, so right. That is very impressive. You left out the solo.
Exactly.
Very impressed. I am totally impressed because I think we kind of met during the pandemic when things were much more low key, and I love hearing this. You've been everywhere, which is freaking amazing.
So now, what happened? Tell us what happened during the pandemic, because you just
Yeah.
It blew up.
Yeah. So what happened was I've always played with a bunch of different people as a drummer, as a producer, music director, putting bands together or doing records or whatever. But during the pandemic, I finally had some time to release some of my own original material.
Right.
And when I did, I just called up some of my friends, and my friends are really big people, like American Idol singers, The Voice singers. I have like a lot of Grammy-winning friends who play all the instruments.
Keeps good company.
Yes.
That's right.
Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere, but I still want the frequent flyer mark.
Exactly.
But you were able to pull everyone together and create.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I was able to put it together, and then what happened is I posted the first couple tunes, and it started to get some buzz. But then by the third, fourth, fifth tune, it blew up into the millions of views and plays and all the socials. The socials started to gain crazy followers. Now I'm up to, I think, 700,000 verified followers.
Crazy.
And 35 million plays and views across all platforms.
I love it.
Wow. Oh my God. Congratulations. Congratulations on that. Now, you did that during the pandemic. Was that where like you would do the drums and somebody would somewhere else would do the guitar track and send it to you, or how did you all get in a room?
So with the production style of how I do it, I write all the lyrics, melodies, I write all the parts myself.
Right.
And if it's an orchestra, I'll score it out and I'll just, sequence it on my laptop and everything, Ableton and all the software. And then what'll happen is if I feel like having a couple of my friends on, it's like, yeah, come on, let's throw whatever. Usually it's about the vocal, and it's about, making sure the drums are good, the vocals are good, and the song is good. So whatever the song needs, sometimes it's just me and the singer, and sometimes it's, but I write all the lyrics and I write all the melodies and all that.
So you basically have control over the whole.
But you would have them in the same room, like in the
studio. Yeah, usually a bunch of my friends were here, but some people will actually just send me tracks. So, hey, I'll ask my buddy Vin, who plays with like Enrique and Ricky Martin. It's like, hey, can you just play some guitar like this? And yeah, man. And he'll send me the track or whatever if he's not available in New York. It's either or, and they're just friends.
I love it. Cool. Plays with Enrique and Ricky Martin. Let's just like throw those names out there. I totally love this. I remember when we had you on the last time, you had done a piece, I think it was during the pandemic, in like an empty building in Brooklyn.
Yes.
That was like an experimental thing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
How did you come up with that?
So that one was, do you guys know who Buddy Rich is? Do you remember?
Of course.
Buddy Rich is my favorite drummer of all time. Okay. So big jazz drummer from back in the day for those people who don't know. But he did a really funny episode of The Muppet Show where he played a drum solo where he started in the green room and he played across to the stage. And he's like, when I play the theater, I play the theater, right? And does a duet with Animal, and Animal like can't keep up or whatever, right? So I got the inspiration from that. And I was like, you know what? Let me try to do something where I'm doing a drum solo up an entire Brooklyn building. You did. You went from literally the ground floor all the way to the top.
It was great. Yeah.
Wow.
It was just you. Wow. It was just you.
I am so impressed with your mind and your capabilities.
Yeah.
How you can just everything from, again, a vocal line to a drum track to a guitar lick to and to keep it all and to know what you want and how. But I'm sure you probably allow a certain amount of artistic freedom to your friends to. Let them put their signature on it. Yeah.
But it's the fact that you can handle so many different aspects. And what we've found having people on this show, they've studied somewhat, but most of them that have the layers like you do, it's completely organic and it's just their gift. Did this start for you when you were young?
Yeah,
that's what I was going to ask. Where are you from? Tell us how you developed into that.
Cool. So I started out in New Jersey in a small town. I was born at a very young age, but
an old soul born at a young age. What can you tell us? What town or what exit?
Exactly. It's a town called Rockaway, New Jersey.
I know Rockaway Mall.
Yeah, Rockaway Mall. That's our claim to fame. We have a mall. That's literally the biggest suburban.
They have an Apple store. It's like there's nothing there. So you have So you have an Apple store.
Yeah. So basically, I started around 7 years old. I got into drums. I got into music. I was playing
in school. I mean, in school.
Yeah. Started in school, you know, basically playing in the concert band and then singing in the choir. And then
you sang as well.
You know, I sang.
But when you were little, did you like take your mother's pots and pans out and bang on them?
Yes, yeah. My first gig was my older sister's wedding. I was the star of the show, playing the tambourine with the band.
Stop.
You know,
how are you?
Like,
right.
You know, so.
I imagine this is really precocious.
Absolutely.
But then there had to have been a process where you start to see where a drum would play a role in creating a music with a bigger group, like the school band. And
yeah.
And then I got into jazz band. I got into the once I got into the drum set, that's like, oh, this is what I want to be doing. I want to be playing the drums and doing this. And I didn't think
awakening that must have been.
Right, exactly.
I didn't think you could.
I didn't think I could do it professionally because I didn't think that was an option. And then my teacher, I was studying jazz a lot at the time. My teacher in high school, I had to be 14, 15 years old. He goes, all right, so I can't do this gig going around Manhattan on a mini cruise around the Statue of Liberty for a jazz gig. Do you want to do it? And it paid really well on New Year's Eve.
Excuse me, at 15 years of age,
I took over, you know, my teacher's gig, and I was like,
you had to be great.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow. So then, you know, my parents came to drop me off, and they stayed, and I just sat there and I played the jazz gig, and I was like, oh, you know what, I can maybe do this. And that's when I went to college for music.
Wow.
Where did you go?
I went to Drew University.
Oh, Drew, of course.
In Jersey. Yeah. And then I got into grad school at NYU for jazz, jazz drum set performance. Didn't go. Funny story, I got a full scholarship, like the max scholarship I could. And then it was still a lot of money, right? It was still like tens of thousands of dollars.
Because it was NYU.
But a month before going, I read the form again. I was like, oh crap, it's double what I thought it was going to be. I can't do that as a jazz musician. Screw that. So then I basically left. I just went pro at that point.
But the point being, so you just brought up a valuable piece of information.
Read things twice.
Exactly. Read things twice. And people are shooting huge amounts of money on these tuitions when they've already arrived at a certain age. You were already there. I would say by the time, if you were 15 and your teacher is offering you a gig, you were there already. You know,
but also like with jazz, like at 15, jazz is improvisational in the moment. And so that there are no mistakes in a way, you know? Right. So that would have been an incredible door opening for you. But then fast forward to college, with for me, again, everything happens for a reason. And the sitting in the schoolroom and learning about something is different than actually going to the club or going to the theater, picking up the sticks and playing. That's where you get your real education and where you really learn the
experiences.
Right.
So experience wise, like I remember being very poor jazz musician, just in school or right out of school. And it's like, okay, I don't have a network in New York. New York City is where I want to be. So I used to go to New York clubs. And what I would do is I would time out the exact time that they would be on their last song or two.
Smart.
And I would go to the front and I'd be like, okay, I'd like to buy a ticket. And they're like, no. It's, you know what? They're on their last song. It's all good. Just go in. And I would go in.
That's genius.
And then, you know, I'd meet the musicians, get their info, and I'd say, man, that last one was my favorite. Oh, man, that was great.
That was the only one.
It's the only one.
There's always a way to do that. But I'm sure you hung out at like Bitter End and all the
Very
West
Electric.
Village.
And all the Birdland. CBGBs.
Yes.
I mean, I played CBs, you know, back in the day before.
Oh man,
I know. We miss it.
That was a great venue. But and then fast forward from the jazz situation, you know, I basically, you know, was doing a bunch of jazz gigs, did well doing it. But then I realized it's like, hold on, most of the jazz musicians I know have to go to Europe to basically play a couple festivals, and then they just teach when they get back. And I don't really like teaching. I want to perform and play. And I was like, you know what? I really like pop music. I like a good melody, a good lyric. I like, you know, stuff on the radio. I always did growing up. And you know, let me try that. And I got into pop, and that's where I started to really get my feet, you know, into the whole electronic, you know,
the whole DJ aspect of it.
The DJ aspect came in from, I did Warped Tour. So basically Warped Tour is this big emo punk pop fest kind of a thing.
Where is it? Tell us what
it used to go around every single state in the country. And bands, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, they all started there. Blink 182 started there. But they had 1 year, and the 1 year that I jumped on, was the DJ stage they tried. And it was sponsored by Spotify, so it was the Spotify DJ stage. And I was touring with a big pop artist on Warner Brothers at the time. And they called me up, and they're like, all right, so you just did the record. It sounds great. Awesome. I recorded with them in the studio. And it's like, okay, we need a cyborg drummer. Can you actually do that? And I was like, the hell is that? Yes, I'll do it. But what?
What is
again, learn as you go along.
Yeah, a DJ who can drum, who can run the tracks, the backing tracks, who can sing, hype the crowd, and do all that simultaneously.
It's a lot of multitasking.
And you just do it, and then basically, I said and then I hung up the phone. I'm like,
you have to figure out what am I going to do
because I didn't have any electronics at that point, right? So I went to Guitar Center immediately. I bought all this electronic stuff. I didn't know how to turn anything on. I was only doing organic live drumming. And then, so I sat there for a little week straight before the first rehearsal, didn't sleep, figured out how to plug everything in and make it work. I showed up to the first rehearsal, great. Second rehearsal, great. And then we did a warm-up gig at Manhattan College. And then the second gig, the big gig, was opening for Bon Jovi at a festival.
Oh my God.
You had like basically three times where you had done this. Did you ever have anything screw up?
I didn't. The computer that was running some of the tracks on the Bon Jovi gig in front of the entire record label, obviously they were there, it went down. And none of us, the tracks were screwed up. And it was a very heavy tracks-based gig. So I had everything on my pads, these drum pads that you hit.
Yeah, I know that.
I had each individual section of each song. So even if the singer and rapper guy would want to loop something, I'd just have it loop infinite amount of times and go to the here's verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and that kind of thing.
So complicated. I know. Look at Tim is holding his head. I want to hold mine too.
I saved the day on that day. It was super fun.
And you had control over all of that at the drum set. Oh my God.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah, and that is a cyborg
drummer. Cyborg drummer DJ.
CYBORG.
Yeah, cyborg.
That's CYBORG. Right. When I first read it, I thought it was cyber, but it's cyborg.
Cyborg drummer. And
learn something.
I can't imagine how quickly your mind is moving at all times when you're performing under those conditions.
Oh, I think it's just what you do. No,
I just need to, again, like playing a lot of the pop stuff since I have real heavy jazz and fusion training.
Right.
I played like really heavy and very fast, crazy music and metal and fusion and all sorts of stuff. Playing pop is pretty easy for me, right? So when I do it, it's nice to have a lot of other things to do. Okay, let me sing some backup. Let me get the crowd going. Let me stand and sit and do. It's kind of like that.
He doesn't have enough to do.
Right, we're coasting with this pop music. What else can I add? It is so amazing to me. Well, I want to see the video.
Let's take a look at the video. Now, you did a remake of the Beatles.
Yes.
I can't think of the name. Something
in the way.
Something in the way she moves.
Why the Beatles? I'm curious.
That's a really good question. So BMG signed me. I'm on a major label deal with them and publishing and everything. They're awesome. They're a great record label. They're the fourth biggest, I think, which is kind of surreal, just being a drummer who's signed as a performer and producer. But so I got that deal. They wound up actually buying George Harrison's full catalog, right?
Wow.
George Harrison from the Beatles, guitar player,
they have the music,
and writer. They have this whole catalog. So I looked through. I was like, wait a second, Something is my favorite Beatles song of all time. And I was like, okay, let me see what I could do with this. I called up my friend Michelle Ray, and she's from The Voice and everything. She's in LA, and she just sent me the tracks. I was like, hey, sing this like this. Okay, change this, this, and this. Had the tracks comped together, and then I called all my, orchestra friends. I scored everything out, and then I sent it to them. And it's the horns from All the Lights, Kanye and Rihanna.
Amazing?
It's the strings from Vita Coldplay, Grammy winners, both of them. And then it's me just on the rest of the stuff. And it came out insane. And it really blew up everywhere. So it's and the video is insane. So before we play the video, I'll say this. In the video, I didn't realize this, and I'm a New Yorker forever now at this point. I didn't realize that the Beatles landed in New York to start Beatlemania.
Yeah,
they went to Carnegie Hall. They went to Plaza Hotel for press. They did the Ed Sullivan Show. And
I remember that. I was there for that.
And was that the Yankee Stadium one?
Oh no, Shea Stadium was
the
second time they came.
That was the second time.
They did. But basically, I went to every single place. I went to every single place the Beatles went to in the music video, and then I spliced it together with me performing and a bunch of beautiful images and everything. So it came out really, really good.
I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. Well, let's take a look at Dramageddon's something.
Yeah.
Strikes me like no other lover. Something in the way she woos me. I don't wanna leave her now. You know I believe in how. Somewhere in her smile she knows that I don't need no other lover. Something in the style that shows me I don't wanna leave her now. You know I believe in how. You're asking me, will my love grow? I don't know. She growed in nature. I don't know. Something in the way she knows. And all I have to do is think of her. Something in the things she shows me. I don't wanna leave her now. You know I believe in how.
Wow.
Oh my!
A great video.
That is just every element of it.
Yeah.
And I loved your popping into JFK and Carnegie Hall, and that was brilliant. That was so
Tell
cool.
us about, let's talk about the choices that you made.
Paying an homage to the Beatles on their song.
The locations and everything. Tell us about the locations in it.
Yeah, I mean, they basically, so that's all the places that the Beatles went to on their first trip. I found out after some deep digging that they actually were able to sneak down and hang out in the Village one time. And they hang out right around where Cafe Reggio is right now. So that's legit. Every place they went to is on that first tour is where I went.
Talk about paying homage on something, you know?
And when I went to Carnegie Hall, I went to a little backstage thing, and the guy pulled me aside and he said, "Hey, check this out. Here's the original program from Carnegie Hall." And he's pointing it out, and he's like, "Check this out. They all signed it." And if you look, they actually they misspelled Paul McCartney's name. And they called him John McCartney. So it was John Lennon and John McCartney.
Right,
and he signs really big right over it to say, you know, big F you to you. I was like, they were
my God.
at the time, and they weren't taken really seriously. They were just some kid band with, you know, silly mop tops and girls like them, whatever. It took them many, many years to actually have, you know, people respect them.
And respect their music.
yeah, you know,
amazing story behind.
Oh yeah, it's crazy to see, and I have the photo. I'm gonna eventually post it with the whole rest.
What made you in the creation of this video decide to juxtapose it with all of these beautiful women and how they were moving, whether they were dancing or walking or floating? Why did you choose that as an artistic point of view?
Oh, that's a great question. So the idea was just feminine beauty in general. So I did a previous song called Get Tough, and it's Get Tough Like Rocky. It's got the same Grammy-winning orchestra on it, and it has Manny Cabo from The Voice and La Voz on it. And that was really masculine energy. It was very sports related. It was like a Nike commercial, really, really intense. And I wanted to give a really great balance to a lot of feminine energy in this one, and have a girl sing it, flip the gender to, you know, have a different kind of a vibe, but keep the lyrics the same, you know, so something about the way she moves, you know, but having the beauty, feminine beauty mixed in with, you know, me doing my drum part, but also the Beatles. For me, I do all my production and all my directing and editing and filming myself. So everything you see
of course you do.
is me on Adobe Premiere. It's, you know, and just sitting there and doing all the filters and everything. But for me, when I see a really good video, for anyone, any really good video that I see has a really strong concept to it. So for me, I just try to pick like one strong concept to really land, and then try to build things around it. And for this, we're trying to give a real homage to, you know, the Beatles, because it's the biggest shoes you could possibly fill.
Well, and the words in the song, something in the way she moves attracts me like no other.
Yes.
I mean, and that just says it all. And that's what carries the whole song.
And again, you managed to capture the feminine beauty of movement of a ballet dancer, and just, that was brilliant. Just brilliant.
Thank you. And I tacked on that last George Harrison quote. For me, it was cool to give a new life to the George Harrison song.
Thank you.
Because the EDM community, a lot of the 20-somethings don't really even know the Beatles.
Right.
So having the song get some popularity in that market, in the 20-somethings, is giving new life to the song. But that quote at the end is, you know, with our love, what was the quote?
It's about something of the world being a better place.
Yes, the world's a better place and everything.
Well, that's our MO,
and that's
everything,
everyone's MO and everything, you know. But George Harrison deserves a little extra props and everything. You know, R.I.P. You know, he's amazing. But I'm gonna probably be able. So this is on the DL. I'll tell you guys. That's right. Yeah. But I'm gonna be sealed. Exactly. But just for you guys, I'm gonna be remixing While My Guitar Gently Weeps and Here Comes the Sun also. Those are going to be a little crazier sounding. They're going to be a little bit more EDM. This one was the one, Something was the one that I made sure to actually keep as reverent as possible.
You did. When Jimmy Starr first sent this to me, I'm like, I wonder how DRMAGDN was going to work the drum into a song that's like, you know, very lovely and floaty, had take the and even while we were watching it, his hands are going like this. It was curious to me how you were going to do that, and you did it.
But that's one thing. That's one thing. One thing I noticed from you is your drumming comes from deep within your soul.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You are so part of it, and the drums in that song were so prevalent, and it blended perfectly and had such great movement to it. A great movement. So you totally amaze me. I've got a couple other things I want to go over. But one is your drum set. I remember you had, even behind you, you had like a couple. I've seen where you've had like a couple of drums behind where you're doing this. How in the hell?
Right.
How did you learn to do that, and where to hit? And
well, if you could go down, you could go up. So it's not, you know.
Okay.
I mean,
down, up, and out.
Exactly.
But it's like, you're right, Tim.
And for live performances, you know, I have a tendency to make sure that the crowd has a good time. So playing the right songs to perform with a lot of you know, energy and entertainment, stick flips and everything. But the drum set itself, the big kit that I have is
a kit. I love it.
35 piece. You know, so there's
God.
Right, Tim?
14 drums, there's 16 cymbals, and then there's a bunch of other little things like and all that. But that big kit is really it's almost like a drum sculpture, you know.
Right,
and I try to keep the levels of the cymbals down a little lower so you have good eyesight, eye line, you know what it is I'm doing. And
it's a full performance.
Exactly.
It's like nothing is blocked. It's a full performance.
And I play seated and I play standing and I play the stuff behind my head. I jump and scream. And then when I'm on stage, you know, for the 9/11 show, it was just, you know, just playing through the tunes. But a lot of the gigs that I play with the crowd up on me, I'm running around and getting in their faces and I'm screaming and everyone's jumping and going crazy.
Oh my God, I love that. Because you're so aware. You're so aware of like you were saying, like some of the cymbals are lower so that they can see. How long is your full 35 set kit? How long does that take you to set that up?
Oh, it's just maybe 30 seconds now.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a
it's
long
like my setup here. You know, a couple of like the computer. How long? It's like what, 6 hours?
It's probably about 2.5, 3 hours.
2.5 to 3 hours.
People to
I was going to say you have the shippers with you.
But now you also mentioned, and that's one of the subjects I wanted to hit was the 9/11 show. That night was mind-blowing. That was so incredible. And it was just watching you with all your friends like John Butcher. And it was like a family reunion for you guys.
Oh, Johnny. Billy Hess got up on stage and performed with you, Tim.
Oh, crushed.
I did get to play with you.
You did, right? With Billy Hess on stage. And it was also, we were still in the pandemic when that happened. So and for me to be able to dance nonstop like that, I desperately need it, and I can't get enough of it. You know, it's not like I can go to raves all the time now. Right. Of a different life. So I really appreciated that. Are you playing anywhere like in Brooklyn that like I can go and dance? This is a personal.
Come down if you're able to stay up late. You know, on a Saturday night, I do a lot of the residencies in the Village.
Does anyone dance there?
I would love to
dance.
Oh, Tim, we should do that. We'll take a disco nap. We'll do the disco nap. Yeah, we'll totally do, and we'll be fine. I have to find out, when did the hair evolve?
Oh, that's a really great question. So I was a kid and I had the 1950s hair flip my whole childhood, right? And I was playing jazz initially. It worked fine. It was all right. Like, whatever, who cares? But then I was trying to get into pop and rock gigs and people weren't hiring me. And I was a good drummer and I was a nice guy.
You're
I was like,
great.
what the heck's going on? I actually got, it was between me and one other guy for a major label artist. And I played better than him, definitely. But this guy had tattoos and a mohawk. And I was like, and they went with him instead of me for that tour. I said, well, screw it. I actually, at that moment, I said, well, I'm not going to let my image get in the way of me actually
You are smart. That's right. Instead of why didn't they pick me? I was a better drummer. Good for you.
Yeah. And then that's when I started to I did it for Halloween one time.
Right.
Just a tiny little guy, tiny little mohawk. And I was like, okay, that's all right. I did it on a festival as a joke on a tour around Halloween another time. And then that's when I went, you know what, I'm going to really go for this. And, you know, this image and vibe really does resonate with who I am as a person. I'm very reverent, I'm rebellious, but I'm, you know, very in your face, but I'm also trying to be all about people and community and trying to give energy.
You know what?
But you're also very deep quality.
Thank you.
You offer quality on a very deep level.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you ever get any tattoos?
No tattoos.
No tattoos.
That's,
you know, everyone's painted.
Correct. And I've hung out with a lot of the models, you know, on the scene and everything. And the top one said, hey, you don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. So I was like, all right. Going with that.
I like that, Tim. That's right. And I'm going to defend my right to not be tattooed, saying you don't put.
But the night of the 9/11,
the 9/11 Soho Johnny event,
watching you from the distance, because you were the musical director of the entire show, with this drum set surrounding you, with the tracks, with everybody's tracks, with I was so impressed, and I was just blown away watching you having total control over all of it and succeeding at it.
Yeah.
It just with that level of entertainers, Can you guys try to help me remember everybody that was there? That
oh
was
my
performing?
God. Kim
We had-
Sledge
Yes,
from
Kim.
Yeah, we had
Beer
Sister Sledge.
Family.
April Gabrielle.
April Gabrielle Rose. She's
April
awesome.
Gabrielle.
Yeah.
We had Kulik.
Felipe Rose from the Village People.
Yeah, and then we had
Felipe was
Felipe
there,
Rose from the Village People. We had John Butcher Axis,
Yep,
rock guitar player. We had Joey Belladonna from Anthrax.
Joey was there from I remember.
Yeah. God, there was a
so many. It's such a list.
It was just it was an amazing night.
And yeah, for those who don't know, I don't know if everyone heard or saw that. I'll explain. So the 9/11 during the shutdown, it was actually the 30-year anniversary of 9/11, and a bunch of comedians got together during the pandemic and put on a big 9/11 benefit for comedy at MSG that sold out, right? And Pete Davidson was there and all that. And then I decided to talk to Soho Johnny, and we sat down and we're like, let's do the music and fashion combination.
So the two, I didn't realize it like that was like the MO behind it. How fabulous.
It was the 30-year anniversary of 9/11. We wanted to raise money for
and you did. It was the dogs. I forgot what the organization was.
Veterans.
It was Dogs for Veterans. Really cool.
Yeah. And then, the whole night was insane. I mean, I basically I DJ'd and drummed and played for every single artist.
It was every artist.
That's what I mean.
Headline, and then
because everybody had a different song, had a different feel, had a different vibe, had a different.
Well, it didn't matter for DRMAGDN. He just went along with it.
You adapt to every style, every sound, everything, and direct it. Music as a musical director, it was amazing to watch you.
Amazing night.
You were really in your element. That's what I'm saying, and not just anybody can do that.
Right.
Not just anybody can do that.
And I love what is happening to you now. Okay, you just came back from touring all over the world, and now you're getting endorsements.
Yeah, no, this one is crazy.
You got a major deal.
Major announcement. I'll announce it here. I haven't even put it on socials yet because I'm building out all the content and everything. And so basically, I was, a couple of people reached out from the company a couple of weeks ago. I signed the deal. Everything's in. They sent
the deal is sealed.
The deal is sealed. And I can announce that I actually represent Glow Water, this is a really big new brand that Kylie Jenner represents also. So it's me and Kylie Jenner and Dak Prescott, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. So literally,
if it's good enough for Kylie, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, no, it's really, really cool.
Really
and the bottles are really nice. They're glass bottles, and the cool part is they're sparkling hydration. And they have electrolytes. They're infused. So for someone like me who does sometimes play like the 9/11 thing, I played 4 hours straight without stopping.
I need it.
I need stuff that
you need it more than Kylie Jenner.
Well, she's very popular.
Like what you put out on that stage. I'm sorry, you need to be replacing your electrolytes.
That should be their commercial. Is you playing with all of that and behind you and all of that, and having to take a sip of that and. If it's good enough for DRMAGDN.
Right.
Right.
And the line before it would be, how does he do it?
Yes.
Glow.
Well, congratulations. Cheers to you. If I had a glow, I would cheers.
There you go. No, it's really.
Can I taste one? Or
yeah,
these?
Please. Yeah,
I can?
Yeah,
I love raspberries, my favorite.
I'm going to go cherry lime.
Okay, cherry lime. He's feeling cherry lime. Okay. All right, Glow, which is I am having the mango. Oh, I thought it was raspberry. I need glasses.
Oh no. That's mango apricot, I think, right?
Oh, sweet.
And this one's cherry lime. So
Tim, it's sweet. And this is the best part, only 15 calories.
15 calories. So it's very low calories. So it's really cool.
Oh, I'm so excited to have
my God. DRMAGDN, I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
congratulations.
that's a big one. And then obviously shout out to all my other endorsers. Pearl Drums, Pisces Cymbals, Vic Firth Sticks, Evans Drum Heads, Audix Mics. I got like 16 of them, so those are my main drum ones and everything.
But you're an example of somebody that, because you've been at it. When did these endorsements start to come along? This is what people need to hear.
Yes.
What do you have to do?
So the interesting part with endorsements, and I was told this by, some of my older musician friends when I was first starting out, when you start to see crowds get really big, that's when you actually have a reason to reach out to companies and say, hey, I'm getting popular. I have a market that I'm playing to. So if you're a drummer for like Shakira or something, obviously Shakira's playing stadiums. So that's a great opportunity to be able to, you know, get a lot of endorsements. And then you make those deals and whatever. For me, you know, when I started to play with a lot of people, I started to get a lot of endorsements. And now at this point, now people are finding me. So it's really, really cool. And it's weird too, because you know, I'm doing my thing, right? And then this hits me up and it's so cool. It's like, all right, well, let's do that one. That works really nice. So yeah, Glow Water is a big one. And then there's a couple other ones that just hit me and we're going back and forth with because part of what I did in the shutdown was try to crack the code of each individual social media platform.
Okay, wait, I love that. Try to crack the code of each social media platform. Brilliant.
That's the idea. And each platform has its own specifics and idiosyncrasies that I figured out to be able to have things do better, right? So on Instagram, you do certain things. On TikTok, you do certain things. YouTube, you do certain things. And that's how, you know, with that plus putting out good stuff, I 25 million plays and views, which is insane.
But that speaks for itself because of who you are. But this cracking the code thing is a whole other thing. I am very interested in this. Have you put out information about this? How do we find out how to crack the code?
So the thing with that is all my friends ask me that question, like all the voice singers and American Idol singers and all my musician friends.
How do we crack the code?
All these people, like, how do you, you know, it's like, you know what? Let me just start an agency on the side for fun just to help people. And that's the DRM Alliance at this point.
That was my next question.
I filter everything through at this point for all the DRMAGDN stuff. So all the content goes through my content team. All the DMs and everything get sent through a whole funnel so that I know what's going on with everything, right? And then content-wise, you know, you sit down on any platform, whatever it is, look at the platform and see what's working well. So on YouTube, certain things work better for a musician. So reaction videos are really great on YouTube Shorts and things like that.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, this really amazing piano player just sits down on a broken piano in public and then shreds. And then look at this, you know, the old guy goes, oh my God, you know, kind of a thing. That works really well.
It's a formula. These are formulas.
These are formulas. Very interesting. See what, you know, and TikTok, a lot of trends will work. But the idea is to do something on TikTok that really works with you and your brand and who you are along with that trend. So for me, I saw this amazing a Joker cosplay guy who basically in Times Square, he's the Joker of Times Square. He used to hold the camera and spin around a bunch, right? And I was like, you know what? Let me actually flip that. Let's put the camera in someone else's hand and then flip around to me as I'm air drumming to get a song. And then once I started doing that at different locations, those really started to hit. But I saw
you took someone's concept
and I made it my own.
You made it your own.
And that's the way to do well on social media is
to
do your concept and your vibe and your situation along with things that work on that platform. So that's the biggest secret you can give. And then it's just a lot of work. You know, it's really
a lot of
lighting. To be honest, lighting is probably the most important part across platforms.
And
she's got two lights here.
I got these lights gray and one they can taped, but it doesn't take away from its light.
Honey, she walks around with those lights.
I do. I can walk down the street, with those lights on me. I totally would. Ring lights are the way to go. Is all I can say. What's like coming up for you in the future?
Okay, so I'm playing Romania. I'm working out a deal for Finland right now and building out a tour of Europe for 2024. I'm going to be doing, that's a summer tour. And then spring tour, it's going to be America, you know.
Great.
And then from that, you know, between now and then, it's the holidays. It's cool. I get to be back for a minute and finish up. I'm actually reloading my entire music library from scratch to make sure every file is amazing. I literally, this is crazy. You guys would appreciate this. I went back to the beginning of modern music. I went back to 1500.
Wow.
And I went every single decade from 1500 to today, and I picked out literally the greatest hits of each era. And we're talking classical, ballet, operas,
from
and
way back.
So I can remix stuff in the public domain. I can remix stuff. So for this year on the DL, this is another little DL thing. I remixed all of the Nutcracker, which has never been done
How
for
cool.
EDM.
Oh my God.
It's already coming out really, really
When
cool.
can we hear this?
It's going to be for Christmas. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's going to be.
We just have to follow you.
Follow me on all. It's literally at DRMAGDN, DRMAGDN everywhere.
And can we just subscribe so I'll get the alerts?
Yes.
The people I follow, I get alerts.
Hit the bell.
There's a bell. Okay.
So,
you have to get to the bell.
So just a question.
Yeah.
With the spelling, are you like vowel challenged or something?
So a lot of the EDM artists, when I first started doing this, like Skrillex and Deadmau5,
Yeah, Deadmau5, MAUS.
weird characters and different
Right.
things. So I went with DRMAGDN, DRMAGDN, because the shorter the name, the better it looks on the top of a poster.
Yeah,
Generally
definitely.
is.
Right, and there we
Those are
go,
the-
working those platforms again. Although you know how I can
so
easily
cool.
remember it. I put it with Armageddon.
Yes.
DRMAGDN,
She has. Yeah, because when she gave me the list of like who's our guests are coming up, I was like, "Oh, DRMAGDN, yay!" Like it sticks, it works.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's nice you give one vowel in there. The
You get
A.
one. You get the A in the middle.
I
It's
think
nice.
the A in
exactly.
the middle.
Yeah. But now the other thing, so
You get one vowel.
another thing during the summer, I was just walking through a park, in New York, and I hear the ice cream truck. And I'm like, oh yeah. I start to listen to the song. It's like, wait a second, that sounds like 3 or 4 different songs put together. And I did the research. It's a public domain song. No one's ever touched it in the EDM DJ community.
Wow.
The ice cream truck song.
Yeah.
Stop.
And I made it like a heavy trip banger.
A tribute
Oh
to
my
Mr.
God, that's
Softy.
great.
Yes.
Literally. It's nuts. So that's another one that's coming out. And then a friend of mine actually started doing a Taylor Swift tribute. So it's like, you know what? Let me see if I can write a Taylor Swift kind of hit, kind of like mid-tempo-y kind of thing. So that's another track that I just, track.
Nice.
These tracks are going to be coming out, once I get my whole team together to try to figure out what the best dates are.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Cycle.
So when do you have time to do laundry or a relationship? And it can be in either order. Like, I don't know which is more important, doing laundry or a relationship to you, but when do you have time for either?
I've had to actually hire cleaning ladies and teams and everywhere I go. And then I usually try to bring people with me.
Okay.
When I can, in between
so you
things.
can have relationships with people.
That's in general. And then if there are really good ones, and every once in a while, like currently there is a really cool one, so
cool. You're a really cool person in your life right now. Yay!
Yeah.
A shout out to them and whoever is cleaning for DRMAGDN right now. I back from those tours, there must be so many loads of laundry.
Oh, and it's definitely rank. That is
after a show.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that
after a show, but you deserve to have somebody supportive and loving and right there cheering you on.
And a separate person to do the rank laundry.
Yes.
I love your energy. I love your creative mind, your organizational mind, just everything. I'm so impressed with you. Just everything. And I wish you the most success on this planet, because you deserve it. You've really tuned in.
Personal question too. What are you going to be for Halloween?
Okay, so I don't really like Halloween because I look like this and people up because that's like damn. But I last year I didn't get to go out with it, but with a girl I actually sat down and I was like, you know what? Let's do drum and drummer. So I gave her a whole drum to wear.
Oh yes, like a skirt.
And then I was the drummer.
And you were the drummer.
I was the drummer.
Oh my God, I love it.
Like you constantly like this, so that you can just drum.
Drumming
you can
all the
just
time.
beat those drums.
Yeah, she has to be. Yeah. Your partner has to be very understanding.
Yes.
Well, we hope to see you Thursday night at
cool.
Stonewall. That would be really fun for that Halloween event. And just been so much fun having you on the show. From the time I heard you play to your energy the last time we streamed. But you know what? When you stream, you don't get the dimension of the person that you get in person. And of course, they can't come with stuff that you can eat and drink on the stream.
Glow water.
Glow water.
Right?
But
Glow
no,
water. naturally caffeinated too. We left that out.
It is naturally caffeinated.
Wow.
And I do have one last thing to say.
Let's show it.
So I have a limited edition run of the Something remix. Right?
Oh yeah, can you hold it all the way up?
Like
Well, we've got the shine of the light.
And basically, it's a little tiny and everything, but it's a red 7-inch. On one side, it's the version that's all online and everything on Spotify and YouTube and SoundCloud, Apple Music. And on the other side, it has the guitar solo on it. Okay, so this is the only place you can see and hear the full version. And on the back, that's Ringo's drum set, right? From Ed Sullivan that I found at a museum. And then on the front, this is a recreation. This is the street I live on. Yeah. I mean, it's a little shiny here.
You made it exactly like Abbey Road.
It's Abbey Road, basically. There we go. It's Abbey Road with just me. And I'm basically, that's me with my feet on the pavement, really in New York City. So I probably have like 10 different diseases from that. But it's me as the four Beatles doing the Abbey Road shot.
That's
World Trade Center in the back, right?
And Freedom Tower.
This is 7th Ave. That's 7th Ave. That's really done.
And of course, you designed and came up with the whole concept
and everything. And there's only 100 copies. 10 are gone already. So there's only 90 copies left.
Wow.
So that's really
cool.
Whoever wants it, just hit me up in the DMs, and then we'll work it out. I'll sign it if you want.
How do people play this? People still have devices to play these.
Yeah, believe it or not, records came back.
No, I know.
Vinyls came back.
Yeah.
It's just.
Why did I ever get rid of my record player? I shouldn't have gotten rid of it. Maybe I should keep those giant VHS tapes too.
Oh God,
I and I didn't get rid of it.
Or the 8 tracks.
Or the 8 tracks. Right.
Yes.
That's going way back. So you can find out everything about DRMAGDN at his website, DRMAGDN.com, but that's DRMAGDN.com. It's written right below us here. So
and you know what? I just had an epiphany. It could be Dr. Magden.
That's what I thought too when I first saw it.
That's my evil villain name. It's Dr. Magden, So I should actually dress up as Dr. Magden. I'll be an evil villain.
There you go.
I'm thinking, right?
Or you'll be an evil drummer with a PhD.
Hello, I'm Dr. Magden.
That's terrifying.
God.
I love it.
All right. Thank you so much.
DRMAGDN, it's always such a pleasure with you, and you're just so inspiring.
You made us laugh. You infused us with energy and caffeine and everything good. Thank you to everybody who tuned in today. A very happy Halloween, because I realize the next time we see you all will be the day after Halloween. My God, I don't know where the month went, but have a wonderful Halloween. And remember, get out there, pretend, do something fun for yourself. It's all good. And
absolutely. DRMAGDN, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Rock and roll.
Yay!